Hello everyone, welcome to LovegLew Creations. This is Felicia and this is our first series of a wreath kit. I'm so excited to bring this to all those that are watching and anyone new that may be in view at this time. So I want to show you our wreath ingredients, and this is exactly what you will be receiving in your wreath kit. First, we're going to start with a 14-inch grapevine wreath. This will be part of your wreath kit. This cute welcome to our home sign. There are 4 bushels of flowers and greenery. So we have these really cute pink roses. Those are really pretty. Blue roses as well. Those are pretty, and they both are from the same kind of flower group, so they'll match perfectly together. We have this beautiful greenery bush, which has really pretty white ends to it and looks really, really realistic. Again, these have multiple branches on them, so we can cut them off. We're going to do that as well. And of course, my favorite, this green grass looking pick bushel of grass. I love it. You get a lot of picks on this one as well, and I like the fact that each pick is full, and it's going to add a lot of fullness to our wreath. And then of course I got ribbon. So you're gonna get a roll of ribbon as well. So you're gonna get 3 rolls of ribbon. You're gonna get this pretty blue and white, light blue, dark blue and white ribbon. Look how pretty that is. It matches our roses perfectly. I got this to go with, to match the sign, because we have the checkered black around the sign. So I thought this would be a nice accent to our bow to help bring out that as well. And then we have this pretty pink and white ribbon, which matches our pink roses as well. So I think the color combo with our combination of flowers and the sign is definitely going to make this a very beautiful wreath. This can be used for every day. This could be your spring wreath. This could be your summer wreath. So we're gonna go ahead and create this wreath, so you'll have the instructions. Again, you don't have to follow how I do it. If you're good at making wreaths and you have kind of a knack for doing it, feel free to create it the way you want to, or have all of these items for something else. It doesn't have to be used for this wreath. It could be something you hold on to for another thing, or add to whatever you're creating as well. But I thought it would be great for us to start here, and this would be a great combination for your wreath for your front door or wherever in your home. All right, let's wreath. A couple things I wanted to point out with some of the supplies that you're going to need to put together your wreath. And these are some of the things that I use. Feel free again to use whatever you need to make sure your wreath comes into place. I am going to give you 2 zip tie mounts to use to apply to the back of your sign, and you can use wire or zip ties to apply the sign to your wreath. What I'm going to do is use wire. I'm going to staple wire on the back of it. You know, y'all seen me do that before. I staple the wire and then tie the sign onto the wreath. Make sure you have a trusty bow maker, and which is also linked in my descriptions below. A staple gun, nice pair of wire cutters, your glue gun, and if you have one, your glue pot. You don't have to have both at all, but it's easy to dip your picks inside your glue pot and use that to apply your picks to your grapevine base, but it's totally up to you. Also, my wreath kit will be available in my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is listed below in the description as well, and you can order it from there. All right, so let's wreath. First things first, we want to apply our sign, attach our sign to our wreath base. All right, so let's talk about the positioning. So it could be right here on the side. You could put it down here if you want to. So it could be here, and you could embellish up here with your bow and your greenery and your flowers, whichever. Now, if you put it in the center, that's fine too, but the thing is that it's gonna cover up the entire wreath and you won't be able to, I mean, you could position the bow here and put some greenery around it. I mean, this is however you wanna do it. So I'm just giving you some options on how you can work with this sign. I'm gonna put it on the side here. I like it like that, that's perfect. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and apply the attachments on the back, so that way we can get it attached to our wreath base. And we're gonna put a bow here with the greenery going around just like that, okay? All right, so let's do that. Of course, y'all know me, whenever I apply any attachments to my focal point, I wanna make sure I have something underneath so I don't scratch it as I'm using the staple gun, or any other attachments that I'm adding. So let's go ahead and cut off this rope. We don't need that. And look again at our positioning just to make sure that we get it where we want it. So probably right there. So I'm gonna probably put, I'm gonna put some wire here and here. So just kind of down the center, just like that. Maybe a little bit more on this side. Okay, so right there and right there. So sometimes, and if you want to, you can mark your spot just to make sure that you get it where you want it. So it's on there really good and sturdy, okay? And also pay attention to which side do you want to use for your grapevine, either or. This one's kind of ovaled. I could turn it this way and do it this way. So again, it's up to you on, making sure that you find the right spot on your wreath base for how you want it to be positioned. And this piece is in my way. Let's go this way. And that piece is in the way. See these big pieces right here? This is the vines that helps hold the wreath together, so we can't cut that off. All right, so this is probably about good. So I'm gonna mark the spot about right there. All right, cool. Here we go. So I'm using some plain floor wire. This is green. I like this floor wire. It has some texture on it, if you can see that. And it's just, a good sturdy, strong wire. All right. Right there. There we go. Okay. Now, if you were going to use the zip tie mounts, then you would basically just take the zip tie, take off the back, add some glue, and put it where you want your wire to go. And then you just string the wire through the holes in the zip tie mount, either or. So, or you can use the zip tie. That's why it's called a zip tie mount. So wire or zip tie, either or. So that's another option. All right, so let's do this. Okay, perfectly paste, just like that. I'm gonna put my cover back. I just always do this, you guys. I just don't like to scratch up my signs. So that's just me. All right, so just twist it on there real good. Just like that. I'm not gonna cut it yet until the end, but just kind of giving you a focal point. And there it is, it's on there nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere, perfect. Next thing I wanna do is start prepping for the greenery. So we're gonna go ahead and cut our stems. All right, so start with them cutting right at the base, as close as possible, because we want them to be kind of long. All right, so we got one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of that. Let's go ahead and cut this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Because we got, now we could do 5 at the top and 5 at the bottom. So that's good. It came out even. All right, so I want to start with our green grass first. All right, so push them up a little bit. They're called push-ups. And position them exactly where you want them in a wreath. So we'll start on the outside. And the great thing about these is that they bend because they're wires. Well, good stems with good wire. 2, 3, 4, just wherever. Start from out, in, middle, out, in, middle. Okay, and 5. So let's do the bottom. So we're going to go out, in, middle, just like that. Okay, and then, did I put too many at the, I think I did. So I should have one down here. So right here, out, in, do one more. I think I put too many up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did. Okay, so there, you can see it's starting to form. It's looking pretty good. So next, I'm gonna save these for right now because I'm gonna use these to brighten up the wreath base once we put in the flower. So what I want to do is, now that I got the greenery where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and put the glue in. So you got it where you want it, right? So this allows you to position, take things out. If you don't glue it first, then you can move things around. If this is your first time making a wreath, that's the best way to do it, is especially with the grapevine. You can just kind of like, okay, this is where I think I want everything. And if you don't, you can take it out, redo it. But once you get it in there and you decide that's the look that you want, then go ahead and glue it while it's in there. So that's what's great about this. So just get it in there really good. And just glue it while it's in there. And make sure you have a good glue product. This is Gorilla Glue. This is also listed in my description below as well. Next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and let's make the bow, because I made space in the center for the bow. And this is similar to the wreath that I made the other day when I made that monogram wreath. So we're going to make room for the bow. I'm going to put the bow right there, and then we'll continue to add the rest of our picks. I just want to get the bow in their place, and then we can start adding picks around it. All right, so the bow, we need to get your bow maker if you have one. So we're going to make about, let's see, this is about 12-inch tails. And we can always cut them if they're too long. And we're going to do 2 6-inch loops for our bottom ribbon, and our bottom ribbon is 2.5 inches wide. Okay, so that's 1, 2, they're both 6 inches. Okay, and one more loop at 6 inches. So you put it in and you twist it around, bring it over. When you buy your bow maker, if you have one, it comes with an instruction booklet on how to make different kinds of bows. So use that as part of your instructions as well. So measuring the tails together, so 6 inches, so just bring it down to the other one and just kind of measure it side by side. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to apply the checkered ribbon, and the checkered ribbon, 6 is going to have the same tail size. And the checkered ribbon, we're going to use, we're going to make it 5 inches. So just look at your measurements on your bow maker. Measure your loop over the 5 inches, just about right there. Okay. And the same on the other side. So we're going to do 2 loops as well, because I really want the checkered to stand out. I want it to be seen also. It just adds a different kind of color element to our bow. All right, so twist it, and 5 inches as well, right there, 5 inches there. Okay. I like how it'll help accent our sign. All right, so just measure the tail down here with this other tail. All right. Now the pink. The pink, we're gonna do 1 loop at 4 inches. I'm gonna measure the tail at 12 inches, and then 1 loop. And we're gonna do this one at 4 inches. So looking at your measurements, get it to the 4 mark, and there we go. So as you add a loop, then you just make the loop smaller. So you can see all the ribbon. Now there's other ribbon styles, bow styles. There's something called the funky bow, which has the ribbons going all kinds of ways, and that's really pretty also. It's another option to use, okay? So be creative, use your bow maker. Use your bow maker instructions. It's very helpful. And I'm gonna tie a centerpiece of the bow, but let's go ahead and pull it up using a zip tie. As you're pulling it up, hold it in the center so it doesn't come apart. Just pinch it right in the center, just like that. Okay. All right, let's move this out the way. And use our zip tie, bring it around. Okay. All right. It's always a tricky part, just making your fingers do what they're supposed to do. Right? There we go. Don't pull it too tight yet, because we have to put our wire in here. So get it tight enough to where it won't come apart. All right, and there we go. Let's go ahead and add a wire. Right through the back, okay? So add it right through the zip tie and the ribbon in the back. There we go. Once you get it through, tighten that thing, zip tie as tight as you can get it, okay? All right. Let's go ahead and cut that off. All right, so I said I was gonna add a center piece to it. So all we're gonna do is take a piece of the top ribbon. Now you could use the black and white, you could use whichever one you wanted to use. I just want it to match in the center. So I'm just gonna use the pink. All right, so let's make it smaller. We'll just fold it. There we go, see? And then we just tie it around like that, and it makes our centerpiece for our bow. All right. Again, if you already know how to make bows, go crazy and make it the way you want to. There's no rhyme or reason, no perfect or right or wrong way to make a bow. You could use, if you wanted to, your whole entire bow could have been blue. Could have been the blue ribbon, so, or the pink ribbon, either or. So it's totally up to you. All right, so let's go ahead and cut these pieces off. Open up your loops so all of the pieces of the bow can be seen. And let's go ahead and dovetail those ends. Just like that. Simple, easy. And I love that everything's being accented. Everything that's in our wreath, the ribbon is matching as well. It matches perfectly. All right, there's the bow. So next, all right, so there's the bow. Now next we're going to take the wire that we placed on the back of our ribbon, of our bow, and that's what we're going to use to attach to our wreath. And so just right in the center, right up in there, or you can make it higher, either or, it's totally up to you how you want it to look. I'm going to put mine in the center. All right, so let's wrap that baby around it. Just like that. And twist it around, and we'll cut the wire when it's all said and done. Okay. All right. So far, so good. I love it. I love it. It matches. It's perfect. Once we put in the pink and blue roses, it's going to be so pretty. All right. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and now let's add our flowers. All right. So for the flowers, we're just going to go ahead and cut them as well at the base. So cut the picks. Wherever you see a stem, that's a pick. All right, so cut the picks at the base. And I like these because they're long. I love that. Which is gonna add a lot of, it's gonna make it look really pretty. So just cut the stems. And these are cool too. We're gonna use these. Use up whatever you have for your, for your florals, okay? So we end up getting 1, 2, oops, 1, these are stuck. What's going on here? Okay, so they don't want to let go of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some of them have 2 on it, so we could actually cut that and make it 3, 3, and 3. Okay, so let's do that. So let's make it so we can have, well, these are together, so that's not going to work. Let's see. We're good. This is fine. We can do 3 up here, 2 down here. Keep in mind that there's 2 that have, a couple of them that have 2 on the stem. So we could put 1 down up here and 1 down here, and then fill in with the other ones. Okay, so let's do that. Let's cut the blue ones as well. So again, cut them right at the stem, the bottom of the stems. So this one right here doesn't have a flower on it, but we're going to use it. Okay, we're going to definitely help enhance and add some other greenery texture to the base, to the wreath base. Okay, so again, cutting it right at the stem. So don't be afraid to manhandle it a little bit just to get it how you want it. Okay, all right, good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blues as well. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start placing the flowers where you want them. Okay. So I'm going to put some of them right at the edge, just like that. Okay. And let's put this one, since this is 2, that's 2 flowers. This one's 2 flowers on the pick. Let's get this one down at the bottom. Again, I'm not gluing it in until I know where I want it. And let's go ahead and add 1 on the side so we can balance it out a little bit. And this one on the side, just like that. See how it's turned out? It's turned out really pretty. Can you see? Okay. And let's go ahead and add 1 down here as well, just like that. So it blends in. Okay. All right, let's start with the blues. So we'll add a blue in the center, kind of have it mixed in so it doesn't look, so that they're not like pink here, pink, you know, all the pinks in one area, all the blues in one area. We want it all to blend in, right? That's the whole point. So get it in there, just like that, okay? All right, and let's go down here so it can blend in. Like that. blue right here on the outside because we want it to balance out. So we're gonna add a blue over here. Just like that. Don't be afraid to bend them as you need to. We're gonna add a blue over here. Let's put one on the inside. Just kind of balance it out, just how you need it to be, okay? All right, and since we're gonna add a blue over here as well, down here. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we have our pink and blue roses added. So next what I want to do is now I want to add these white light colored stems, and I want to fit those in certain places within the wreath so that way it helps lighten up and add just a little different type of texture as well to the wreath. So we can cut these down a little bit as well. They're kind of long, so feel free to you know, work with your greenery to get it to be, you know, how you want it to balance out your wreath. All right, so let's go ahead and let's stick some of these white pieces. That's why I cut it down. I cut it down a little bit because I'm going to apply some of them within the bushes themselves, just to help brighten it up a little bit. So I think that's probably the best thing. So just put them in there. Wherever you see a gap, wherever you see a gap where there's like a lot of green. So, and you'll see as you're making this how that really works and balances it out and gives it a lighter look. Just like that, see? It's already coming together. So feel free to come down a little bit and get them applied within the greenery, all the green. All right, this one came up. All right, let's get that one back on there. Let's add a little glue. If something comes apart, glue it. Don't be afraid to work with it. Okay. Okay. Again, this is just to fill it in where there's a lot of green. We're just brightening it up. It's the perfect filler. Okay. I hope y'all can see everything. And again, it's however you want to do it, right? So making a wreath, there's no rhyme or reason other than, you know, how to make the bow, where to position your sign, your focal point, all that good stuff, okay? So don't freak out if you're like, oh my God. Once you start applying everything and putting it all together, it just really comes alive. It really does. Okay, see that piece came out. We're gonna put it in there and we're gonna glue it in there just like so, okay? Alrighty, looking good. So far so good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get those pieces glued in and we'll be right back. All right, everyone, here is our finished product. And this is what, if you make it this way, this is how it'll look on your front door. All right. Just make sure, I'm always tempering with the bow. Just make sure the bow stands out. All right. All right, finished, ta-da, looks good. All right, everyone, thanks for wreathing with me. Don't forget that these kits are limited, so first come, first purchase, and I'm looking forward to making more of these in the future. Thanks for wreathing with me. Have a great week.